You need to understand what is happening right now because the luxury SUV market is not just being disrupted, it is being dismantled piece by piece. We are looking at a 5,400mm luxury SUV that can physically lift one wheel completely off the ground and keep driving on the other three like nothing happened. No, that is not a camera trick. And no, that is not some prototype that will never see production. This vehicle is in showrooms right now. It has 1,100 horsepower. It can rotate in place like a military tank without moving forward an inch. It has a suspension system that uses hydraulic fluid pumped faster than a human heartbeat. In the interior is so excessive that Rolls-Royce engineers probably had meetings about it. I am telling you, we are in uncharted territory. This is the BYD YangWang U8L. The L stands for long wheelbase, which basically means they took an already absurd luxury SUV and stretched it another 100mm to create a rolling palace. And today, I am going to take you through every single detail of this machine because once you see what is possible at this price point, you cannot unsee it. This is not just another car video. This is evidence that the automotive world order just shifted under our feet. The Chinese auto industry just launched a direct assault on Goodwood and Stuttgart, and I do not think anyone was actually prepared for how brutal it would be. Let's begin. Let's start with the face of this thing, because it is genuinely intimidating. They call this design philosophy Timegate, and for once, the marketing department actually delivered truth. It looks like something designed by people who studied both Transformers movies and military armored personnel carriers. The grille is not just a grille, it is a massive geometric portal that blends seamlessly into the headlight housings. When the vehicle is powered down, it looks like a black monolith, like obsidian, but when you approach with the key fob, the entire front fascia illuminates with this cascading LED sequence that looks like digital waterfalls flowing upward. It is aggressive, it is angular, and it radiates this physical presence that makes a Cadillac Escalade look like it is apologizing for taking up space. If you see this filling your rearview mirror on the highway, you do not just change lanes. You experience a primal urge to get out of the way immediately. And look at the roof architecture. See those three raised sensor housings positioned just above the windshield? That is not aerodynamic styling. That is advanced detection hardware. We are talking about solid-state LiDAR sensors and thermal imaging cameras. This vehicle can see in complete darkness better than your eyes can see at midday. It is constantly scanning the environment in 3 dimensions, measuring distances to the millimeter, identifying objects, pedestrians, and obstacles. It feels less like a car and more like a military reconnaissance platform that happens to have luxury seats. And the sheer size of it, this is the L variant, so it stretches roughly 5,400mm in length. It is a legitimate land yacht. It is enormous, but the proportions are so deliberately squared and muscular that it does not look bloated like some luxury SUVs. It looks dense, like it was milled from a single piece of titanium alloy. Walking around to the side profile, you really start to understand the ambition. The wheels are massive 22-inch forged alloy units, but look closely at the center cap. It floats perfectly level, just like a Rolls-Royce wheel. The YangWang logo remains upright regardless of wheel rotation. It is such a minute detail, but it communicates exactly who they are targeting. They are not trying to compete with Jeep or Toyota. They are aiming directly at Crewe and Munich. And on this particular configuration, that center cap is not plastic. It is not even aluminum. It is real copper with gold plating. I am being completely serious. Who incorporates precious metals into wheel center caps? Someone making a very specific statement about wealth, that is who. And check out the C-pillar design. There are 6 metallic bars embedded into the glass. It is actually an LED battery level indicator, so when you charge the vehicle, you do not need to check your smartphone or walk over to look at the dashboard. You can simply glance at the side of the vehicle from your office window and the bars illuminate progressively to show battery percentage. It is such an elegant functional touch. Why does my electric vehicle not have this? Why do I need to open an application? This is exactly what I mean. They are engineering solutions to problems we did not realize were problems. But the most impressive engineering accomplishment on the exterior is something you cannot even see until you examine the wheel wells closely. Look at the clearance in there. This vehicle operates on the D-SUS-P intelligent hydraulic body control system. It is not air suspension, it is hydraulic. That means it controls pressurized fluid flow to each damper independently in real time. Here is why that matters fundamentally. If you experience a tire failure in this vehicle, you do not pull over. You do not contact roadside assistance. The suspension system detects the pressure loss instantly and physically raises that corner of the vehicle. It redistributes weight across the remaining 3 wheels, and you can continue driving to a service center at normal highway speeds without damaging the rim. What? That seems like it violates basic physics. It is like the vehicle is refusing to acknowledge inconvenient reality. And around the rear, the design intensity continues. The taillights are these massive pixelated LED arrays that look like retro video game graphics rendered in crystalline form. It is simultaneously nostalgic and futuristic. The spare tire cover is a large octagonal element, and honestly, the entire rear design communicates this message of, I can traverse any terrain, but I will look wealthy doing it. But notice what is absent. There is no rear windshield wiper. I examined the entire entire rear glass. It is gone. Why? Because a wiper blade is aesthetically displeasing. Instead, they installed a high-pressure airjet system and camera cleaning mechanism that clears the rear glass instantly. They designed a complex pneumatic engineering solution just to avoid placing a rubber blade on the window. That is the level of obsessive detail we are dealing with here. Now, let us discuss what exists under the body panels, because the specifications read like science fiction. This is built on BYD's E-Platform 4.0 architecture. That means 4 independent electric motors, one dedicated to each wheel. There's no mechanical drive shaft, no physical differential connecting left and right wheels. Each wheel operates with complete independence. Combined, these motors produce 1,100 horsepower. Let me repeat that number. 1,100. This is a rectangular SUV that weighs approximately 3,400 kilograms and generates more power than supercars from a decade ago. It accelerates from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 3.6 seconds. That is quicker than a Porsche 911 Carrera. Imagine arriving at a traffic signal in your sleek, aerodynamic sports car and getting destroyed by a 3-row family vehicle with refrigeration in the rear cabin. It is genuinely embarrassing. But horsepower is not even the most impressive capability. Because each wheel operates independently, they can rotate in opposite directions. The left wheels spin forward, the right wheels spin backward, and the vehicle performs a tank turn. It rotates 360 degrees on its own axis without forward or backward movement. Imagine you are in a confined parking structure or you reach a dead end on a narrow mountain road. You do not execute a multi-point turn. You do not reverse. You simply activate tank mode, rotate in place, and drive away. Parking attendants would lose their minds. You could literally spin in circles just to demonstrate. It destroys tires, absolutely. But if you can afford this vehicle, tire replacement is not a financial concern. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but it is an electric vehicle, so range limitations, correct? Wrong. This is an EREV, extended range electric vehicle. Under the hood sits a 2.0-liter turbocharged gasoline engine, but that engine is not mechanically connected to the wheels. It is exclusively a generator. Its only function is to operate efficiently and charge the 49.05 kilowatt-hour battery pack. So you drive on pure electric power for approximately 180 kilometers, which covers the vast majority of daily driving. But if you need a road trip, the gasoline generator activates seamlessly, maintains battery charge, and provides a total combined range exceeding 1,000 kilometers. You receive the instant torque and silence of electric propulsion with the convenience of gasoline infrastructure. It is the optimal bridge technology, and it makes tremendous sense for a vehicle this massive. But we need to discuss the water capability, the emergency flotation mode. This is the feature that broke automotive YouTube. The entire underbody structure is IP68 waterproof certified. If you drive into deep water, perhaps a flash flood, perhaps you are just extremely adventurous. Sensors detect that the wheels have lost traction with solid ground. Immediately, the suspension extends to maximum height. The windows automatically close. The panoramic sunroof opens so you have an emergency exit if necessary. The climate system switches to recirculation mode to seal the cabin, and the vehicle floats. It becomes a boat. But because the wheels can spin independently with torque vectoring, they function as paddle wheels. You can actually steer and propel forward at approximately 3 kilometers per hour to navigate back to shore. It maintains flotation for up to 30 minutes. I mean, when was the last time Cadillac added a boat mode to the Escalade? Never. And that is the point. Okay, take a breath, because we have not even opened the door yet. The exterior is the intimidation factor. The interior is the justification for the price tag. As you approach, the power retractable side steps almost lower smoothly to greet you. You open the door and the scent immediately hits you. It is that unmistakable expensive leather aroma. Nappa leather everywhere, and I mean covering every surface. The dashboard, the door panels, the headliner, the sides of the center console where your knee makes contact. There is not a single piece of hard, scratchy plastic anywhere in this cabin. The design is visually overwhelming. They call it a command center, and it genuinely feels like one. The dashboard is dominated by screens, but it is perfectly symmetrical, which is extraordinarily satisfying visually. In the center, you have this beautiful 12.8-inch OLED curved display that flows down into the console. The black levels are perfect, the colors are vibrant, the resolution is razor sharp. But then in front of the driver, there's a 23.6-inch ultra-wide display for gauges and vehicle information. And then, because excess is the point, there is another identical 23.6-inch screen dedicated to the passenger. This passenger screen is brilliant. It has a privacy filter so the driver cannot see it and become distracted. Your passenger can watch streaming content, browse social media, or, and this is my favorite capability, manage the integrated karaoke system. Yes, the vehicle comes with factory-installed microphones. You can sing at full volume while accelerating from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 3.6 seconds. It is absurd, and I absolutely love it. And the physical controls, thank you BYD, they did not bury every function in touch interfaces. Below the center screen, there are these substantial metal toggle switches for drive modes and climate controls. They actuate with this satisfying mechanical click like you are arming a weapons system. The air vents are motorized. They sit completely flush when deactivated, and when you activate climate control, they rise up from the dashboard like small turrets deploying. It is pure theater. Every time you start the vehicle, it stages a performance for you. Let us discuss the seats. In the front, you have these massive throne-like structures. They are heated, ventilated, and feature a massage function that is more powerful than most professional massage therapists. But because this is the L version, the real luxury exists in the rear cabin. This is where the executive sits, or the celebrity, or the teenager whose parents have extraordinary resources. The rear legroom is effectively unlimited. You could comfortably fit a large dog on the floorboard back here. The seats are individual captain's chairs that appear to be extracted from a private aircraft. With one button press, the zero gravity mode activates. The seat back reclines to 43 degrees. The leg rest extends forward. The footrest deploys and the massage sequence begins. You are essentially lying down. In the center armrest between the rear seats, there is an 8-inch touchscreen exclusively for rear cabin control. You can manage the panoramic sunroof, the ambient lighting, which offers 256 color options, by the way, the audio system, and the refrigerator. Oh yes, the refrigerator. It is not a simple cooling box. It is a compressor-based refrigeration unit. It can cool down to -6 degrees Celsius if you want frozen items, or heat up to 50 degrees if you want warm beverages. It holds a champagne bottle perfectly. Imagine being reclined, receiving a hot stone massage, drinking chilled, sparkling water while your vehicle navigates through traffic autonomously. It is not transportation anymore. It is a mobile sanctuary. But wait, I mentioned something earlier that no other production vehicle offers, something that sounds fabricated until you witness it: the drone deployment system. If you select the Platinum Edition, the roof box is not for cargo. It is a fully automated hangar for a DJI drone. You press a button on the center screen labeled Launch and the roof physically opens. A robotic mechanism lifts the drone out. The drone launches. It synchronizes with your vehicle's GPS coordinates and follows autonomously. You can select cinematic mode on the interface, and the drone will film your vehicle from dynamic angles, tracking shots, overhead perspectives, side profiles, all completely automated. The video feeds live to the center display so you can observe yourself driving in third-person perspective like a video game. And when the drone's battery depletes, it autonomously returns to the vehicle, lands on the roof, and the robotic arm retrieves it inside. But here's the most impressive part. The vehicle's internal system physically swaps the drone's battery for a charged one while you are driving, charges the depleted battery, and prepares the drone for another flight. Are you processing this? My current vehicle barely maintains a stable Bluetooth connection, and this vehicle is managing an autonomous aerial support system on its roof. It is technological excess. It is unnecessary. It is the most impressive feature I have ever encountered. Why would anyone need this capability? I genuinely do not know. Perhaps to scout traffic conditions ahead. Perhaps to survey off-road trails. Perhaps just to create exceptional social media content. It does not matter why. It matters that they engineered it. And that brings me to the price revelation. When you examine a Rolls-Royce Cullinan, you are discussing $400,000 minimum. By the time you add personalization options, you are approaching $500,000. A Mercedes G-Wagon is $200,000 easily with dealer adjustments. The Range Rover SV is in that stratosphere as well. So what does this Chinese technological showcase cost? The YangWang U8L, fully equipped with the screens, the leather, the 1,100 horsepower, the flotation capability, the tank turn, it costs approximately 1.28 million RMB in China. That converts to roughly 176,000 US dollars. Now, 176,000 is substantial money. I am not claiming it is inexpensive, but compare it rationally. It is literally less than half the price of a Cullinan. It is cheaper than a loaded G63 AMG. And objectively examining the specification sheet, examining the materials, examining the technology, it delivers 3 times the value. If this vehicle appeared in American dealerships tomorrow at that price point, Cadillac would panic. Lincoln would be in crisis mode. The European manufacturers would convene emergency strategy sessions. This is precisely why tariffs exist. This is precisely why importation is difficult. Because if the free market simply allowed this vehicle to compete directly, it would devastate the competition. It makes American luxury feel antiquated. It makes European luxury feel overpriced. It feels like a product from a parallel timeline where technology advanced twice as rapidly. So here's the question I need to pose to you. Remove the politics from the equation. Remove brand loyalty. If you had $200,000 to invest in the ultimate luxury SUV, would you purchase the one that has remained fundamentally unchanged for 4 decades? Or would you purchase the one that can float, rotate, deploy a drone, and massage you with hot stones while accelerating to 100 kilometers per hour in 3.6 seconds? I think I understand the answer. And honestly, it unsettles me slightly, Boo, because I am looking at my trusty SUV in the driveway, and for the first time, it resembles obsolete technology. The future is not approaching gradually. It is already here, and it is performing tank turns in lakes somewhere in Shenzhen. Let me know in the comments. Would you drive this? Are you experiencing envy, or do you think it represents technological overload? I genuinely want your perspective. Hit that like button if you found this examination valuable. Subscribe so we can reach 1 million, and perhaps I can afford to import one of these machines for the channel. Until next time, keep driving and try not to drive into any bodies of water unless you have a YangWang. Peace.